We've all been told that people can change. It's a message of hope we cling to. But some voids are too deep to be filled. Some truths are too brutal to be softened. Today, we ask the question, why do narcissists never change? And the answer is not what you think. It's not about stubbornness. It's not about a lack of therapy. The harsh truth is far more profound, far more final. To understand it, you have to understand that we are not talking about a wounded person. We are talking about what's left after a psychological death has occurred. To understand why they can't change, you must first witness the crime that created them. This isn't about simple childhood trauma. It's about a spiritual and existential choice. The point of no return. In the early life of a future narcissist, there is a moment of unbearable shame, vulnerability, or terror. A moment where the authentic self, the soft, feeling, trusting child within, is perceived not just as a weakness, but as an existential threat, a liability that guarantees annihilation. The spiritual suicide. In that moment, most of us learned to cope. They made a different choice. They performed an act of spiritual suicide. They took their true self, with all its capacity for love, empathy, and genuine connection, and they killed it. They strangled it, buried it deep within them, and built a fortress over its grave. It was a calculated murder to ensure their own survival. The birth of the false self. What rose from that grave was not a person. It was a construct, a golem. A sophisticated, hollow avatar designed for one purpose: to navigate the world and extract what it needs without ever being vulnerable again. This false self is what you know as the narcissist. The harsh truth. You are asking a gravestone to grow a heart. You are trying to reason with a ghost. When you ask a narcissist to change, to be genuine, to feel empathy, you are asking them to resurrect something they intentionally and brutally murdered decades ago. They don't even have the tools for the excavation, and they are terrified of what they might find if they tried. Change isn't difficult. It's a metaphysical impossibility. When they killed their own ability to feel, they received a terrifying gift in return. This is their dark psychic power. It's not supernatural. It's predatory. The death of effective empathy. Effective empathy is the ability to feel what others feel. This is what connects us. The narcissist has none. It was part of the true self that they executed. The rise of predatory cognitive empathy. But in its place, their cognitive empathy became hyper-developed. This is the ability to intellectually understand and predict what someone is feeling without feeling it at all. It is the chilling, detached observation of a scientist studying a lab rat. This is what feels like a psychic ability to their victims. When they meet you, they are not connecting with you. They are running a diagnostic scan. They see your hopes, your dreams, your deepest insecurities, your unhealed wounds, not as parts of a beautiful human soul, but as data points on a screen. They map the architecture of your psyche to find its entry points and its weakest structural supports. They are the ultimate psychological hacker. The brutal reality. They know exactly how to hurt you because they've done a full reconnaissance of your soul. Their compliments are so perfect because they've read your deepest desires. Their cruelty is so precise because they are targeting the exact insecurities they identified on day one. They are not fumbling in the dark. They are a sniper with a perfect view of your heart. Change would require them to give up this superpower, the only tool they have to feel powerful and safe. They would rather die. This is where the narcissist's worldview makes change not just impossible, but laughable to them. Like the Joker, they believe they have seen through the matrix of human society and have found it to be a pathetic lie. The world of the sheep. From their vantage point, your world of love, trust, vulnerability, and mutual respect is a naive delusion. It's a weakness that sheep cling to because they are too afraid to face the cold, transactional truth of existence. They see your kindness not as a strength, but as a foolish vulnerability waiting to be exploited. The enlightened predator. They see themselves not as broken, but as enlightened. They believe they are the only ones awake in a world of sleepwalkers. They are the wolf that understands the nature of the flock. In their mind, they are not the villain. They are the ultimate realist. They are simply playing the game with the rules that everyone else is too stupid or cowardly to acknowledge. The laughter at chaos. When you beg them to see your pain, when you cry, when you appeal to their better nature, an internal monologue is playing that sounds like the Joker's laugh. Look at them, crying, appealing to a love that was only ever a tool I used. They still believe in the fairy tale. They still don't get it. The whole thing, love, trust, morality, it's all a big fat joke, and the punchline is their broken heart. How can they be so blind? It's hilarious. It's pathetic. The final, harsh truth. Why would they change? In their eyes, changing would mean becoming one of you. It would mean willingly choosing to be a blind, stupid sheep. It would be a regression, a lobotomy. It would be like a wolf choosing to staple wool to its back and chew grass. It's not just undesirable. It's fundamentally contrary to their perceived enlightened nature. So why do narcissists never change? Because the person you want to change does not exist. You are interacting with a sophisticated survival mechanism, a false self, that murdered its own soul for power. It navigates the world using a predatory psychic ability to read and exploit, not to connect. And it operates on a core philosophy that your entire reality of love and hope is a contemptible illusion. You cannot reason with a program. You cannot ask a ghost to have a heartbeat. You cannot reform a person who believes they are a god and you are a fool. Trying to change a narcissist is an act of profound futility. It is like whispering a poem to a black hole, hoping it will learn to feel. The only thing that will happen is that you will be pulled in, crushed, and erased. The harshest truth of all is that the only change possible is your own. The change that comes when you finally accept the void for what it is, turn around, and walk away. In the end, you must accept that you were never trying to heal a wounded person, but were whispering truths to a beautiful hollow statue. And the greatest act of self-preservation is to finally stop trying to warm the stone with your own life's fire. Turn away from the altar they built for themselves and walk back into a world where souls can actually feel the sun. Therefore, the ultimate, tragic truth is that in their relentless quest for ultimate control, they became the eternal prisoner of their own creation, a king ruling over an empire of ashes, forever trapped inside the mirror, screaming for a validation that their own reflection can never give back. And so, you must let them go, for they are a star that collapsed into a black hole long ago. Your light cannot escape their gravity, and your warmth cannot reignite their dead core. The only liberation is to accept the physics of their nature, step out of their orbit, and find a galaxy that is not centered around a void.